Welcome to Meditation Medication. I'm not a doctor, psychiatrist, or psychologist. I cannot prescribe any medication of any kind. I hope to shed light and perspective on situations that I have dealt with in hopes that it will help someone else. Today, I want to talk about self esteem and acceptance. When I was growing up, my mother would always tell me that I was beautiful. And then I would go to school and I would hear how ugly I was. So, what did I believe? I believed the majority. And that's how I believe my low self esteem started. I believed the kids, they would always tell me I was ugly. I felt like nobody liked me, especially, uh, since some girls wanted to fight me. I didn't have many friends. Especially in elementary school and stuff like that. Like I didn't really fit in. I was a weird child. Well, I think I've always been a weird person. So, how is it that my mother gave me positive reinforcement? She told me that I was beautiful. How did I still end up with low self-esteem? That went on for majority of my life. So, why is that? It's crazy how there are a whole lot of very attractive people on the planet who have low self esteem, and that goes for men and women. They don't see their beauty, they don't see their awesomeness, they don't see a lot of their great qualities, but everybody else on the outside, they see it. So, how do we get to this place? How do we go from us, like, we have the positive reinforcement, or we have, at home we get told we're beautiful and all this and all that. And I know sometimes we don't hear that we're beautiful or attractive or that, and when we're at home. But it just amazes me how some of the most attractive people have some of the lowest self esteem. It's crazy to me. And some of the people who are not as visually attractive have some of the highest self esteems and have the most confidence. It's crazy. Um, but anyway, when it comes to accepting ourselves individually, in this day and age, it just seems like it's just so hard because people want what they can't have, so they manufacture something fake to make it seem like they have what they want, but they really don't. And then they get even more depressed when things go south or go sour. I I had a really hard time accepting who I was because I was the person that was too much of almost everything. I talked too much. I was too loud. I was too smart. I talked too white-ish or too proper, should I say. Um I was always too something. Uh so if I was small in size, you know, that was a problem. If I was big in size, that was a problem. So I never felt like I was good enough. And then when I got to be an adult, I I didn't know my self-worth. I didn't know what I had to offer. I didn't know any of that stuff. So I didn't know what to stand for. I didn't know what not to stand for. Um, if you took any notice in me, it was like, oh my God, somebody took notice. Yay. You know, and I would latch on to you like a latchkey kid. And then I would smother because, oh my gosh, I had somebody, and then the person would leave because I would come on too strong, you know? And so I didn't really have a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and it was just hard because it's hard to accept myself because people wouldn't stick around because I was just too much. But I didn't know what to do with that. I didn't know how to dial it back because it seemed like nobody stuck around long enough to tell me, okay, Ayame, you should, tone this down or work with me or anything like that. So I had some sporadic friendships. It came at sporadic times. I had one good friend for this for like a year or two, then, nobody, and then, so it was hard, and I didn't date hardly much, and that's a whole another story. I'll have to do another talk on that. That's like a really, really interesting topic. But yeah. So for me, it was just hard to accept myself because I was always too much of anything and everything. And I didn't know how to divvy it out, or I didn't know how to control it. I didn't know any of it. And so it made my self esteem even lower because nobody would stay around me. Nobody would stick, you know, only certain people would. And so because people didn't stick around, I felt like I was undesirable. I felt like I was, I must be a terrible person, or I must be bad, or I must be this, because nobody's sticking around. And that wasn't the case. I just didn't learn how to balance everything. I didn't learn how to just calm down, take my time. And me being an impatient person, that didn't help me at all. So it was rough. It was rough for me. And I couldn't, I had a really hard time accepting all of it. And it was a long process. It was a very long process. And it was just hard for me. And then when it came to other things, like when it came to realizing about my mental health, when it came to realizing my weight situation, when it came to realizing and accepting other areas in my life that were not so pretty, that I didn't like, it was devastating. Like my brain was just like, no, I can't accept that. Nope, nope, not gonna do it. Nope, I'm not gonna accept that. Because I didn't like the way that looked. So therefore, I'm not accepting it. And it didn't matter what it looked like, it was still something that was there. Like just because you don't want to look at something, it doesn't mean that it's not there. And no matter what truth that was a part of me, it was still the truth whether I accepted it or not. You know, like the color of my skin, no matter how much I may not want to look in the mirror, my skin color does not change. And so you can run from your truth for as long as you want to, but it doesn't change your truth. And that's something that I had to learn, still learning, still trying to grasp. And yeah, I've been told a lot in my life that I'm very hard headed. And if I would just listen and just accept my reality, life will go a whole lot better for me. And if you know me, which right now, you don't really know me yet, I don't listen. all the time. Well, a lot of times I don't listen. And yes, my head is hard a lot of times, and I'm just very strong-willed and determined because I feel like I got it. And a lot of times I don't have it, but in my mind I feel like I have it, and I'm wrong sometimes, a lot of times, but I feel like I got it. So yeah, but it doesn't change the truth. It doesn't change anything, and no matter what our truths are, it doesn't change. Whether we accept it or not, it does not change. It may take us longer to deal with it because we don't accept it. Just like if you have feelings for the same sex and you have grown up in a religious home, or your parents are preachers, or all of that, you know you like the same sex, but you don't want to accept it because you know your parents are not going to agree, or your parents are not going to accept it. It doesn't change your feelings at all. It may change how they interact with you if they found out, but it doesn't change your feelings. It doesn't change them at all. So the quicker that we accept what is true, the better off we would be. I'm still learning that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm still learning that. I haven't quite got that yet. So we can just learn together because, yeah, there's a lot of things I haven't accepted yet. But I want to say in due time I will. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna just say we'll both see together. But I have a lot of things that I really need to accept that it's just so hard for me because it's like my brain is like, no, I can't believe that. Like this is something I just cannot believe. Do you have that? Are there any truths about you that you just refuse to believe? Like you just like, no, like this can't be. I know I can't be the only one. And it could be, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what yours can be. It could be your weight. Like you want to be you want to weigh 110 pounds, but the scale says you're 130, or you want to be a size 5, but you're really a size 15. I mean, you know, I don't know what it is for you, but whatever it is better if we just go ahead and accept it and move on instead of holding on to what we feel is reality, even though it's not. Well, this was kind of like a vent slash rant slash meditation, um, because I want us to really think about how we can truly start accepting ourselves, because we can't expect nobody else to accept us if we don't accept us, because we set the tone, we set the standard of how we are to be accepted. If I don't accept all of me, I can't expect nobody else to, which is a hard fact and it's the truth. And I don't like it because I want somebody to accept me for me, but I have to show them that. And I don't know how just yet, so I don't know what we're gonna do. So let's think about how we can start learning how to accept ourselves. And even if it's just one thing a day, we have to start somewhere. You're not doing this alone. I'm right here with you. Until next time.